an honor to have the former Prime Minister of Bhutan, Jigme Thinley, with us. You were the first democratic elected Prime Minister of Bhutan. So I wanted to ask you, when you are meeting other Prime Ministers of other countries and they ask you about the gross national happiness, how do you explain it to them?
Well, to those who are interested, I begin by telling them that if a country were seriously committed to the pursuit and the fulfillment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, then one way to go about doing that is to study and see the various mechanisms or the various processes or the means through which these can be achieved, and speaking to them about the gross national development model of Bhutan, I tell them about the 9 dimensions and some 32 variables, which are so comprehensive that they incorporate all the 17 goals of the SDG and even more. For instance, the SDGs do not include mental, spiritual, emotional, psychological well-being, for instance. It is not as strong on the aspect of culture and on the softer aspects that are so very critical to human well-being. So I tell them that GNH is in fact a more comprehensive model than the Sustainable Development Goals, and that for Bhutan in particular, we have not had to do anything different than continuing with what we have been doing.
What do you think is the image that currently Bhutan is giving internationally, and how Bhutan somehow is opening to even private companies or institutions that want to have a relationship with Bhutan? So how is that image, or how is the country portraying itself?
Well, there is a false kind of image about Bhutan that is spreading as well, not intentionally by the Bhutanese, but by those who love Bhutan and who like to think that Bhutan is the happiest country in the world, meaning then that we could not be a country with too many problems. But the truth is, we are not the happiest country. Far from it. We are a country that is struggling with in fact, even daily survival. There's still a segment of our population that is poor. About 12.5% of the population is still under the poverty line. And that's a huge chunk of our population. And there are still so many of the essential vital services that the people are not yet able to access in ways that the benefit that they get from these is good enough, and it is convenient enough. Hospitals, for instance, are still too far for many Bhutanese. There are too many Bhutanese for whom a walk or a drive to the nearest basic health unit is at least 1 hour away. And likewise, access to school physically is difficult for a large section of our population. So we are a country that is struggling, but in terms of especially material development. But at the same time, what we would like to project ourselves, and we do, is that we are a country that is in pursuit of a unique goal. We are a country that has asked itself and determined what the purpose of development is or ought to be. Not development for growth and growth for growth's sake, but development for the holistic overall well-being of the human individual. So the human being is placed in the center, and for the security, peace, and the well-being of the human individual, we need to look at development in a very holistic way, meeting the needs of the mind as well as that of the body. So that is how we have come up with these 9 dimensions, as you know.
Well, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure to have you here today. So hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.